There's been certain things going on in my real life where I've just been a little bit disappointed in people and life circumstances. And I try to stay grateful and stay in the moment, but I can't help feeling that disappointment. And then added to that, there was the settlement between Michael Jackson Estate and Lloyd's of London. When they announced that there was a settlement, it was like, wow, it's over. It's really over. Michael Jackson has to be dead, right? Which of course made me disappointed even more because I was so looking forward to him doing something that's never been done rather than having to accept that he died in such a stupid manner. I got to that acceptance. I really did. I got to the point where it was like, okay, let's move on. He's gone. So the other day, I'm driving home. It was Friday. I'm disappointed in life circumstances and people. His music comes on the radio, and I go on a tirade of cuss words at him. So I know I'm not feeling really good about life. And since a lot of you know I don't drink or party in that manner, my weakness now, today, in this day and age, is sugar. And I've been off pretty much sugar for almost a month now. Friday came and I went and I bought a cake and I ate a third of the cake while I looked for something to escape into on television. So the weekends usually have really lousy programming, and I went to Netflix and I found something called Sherlock, which is the BBC's Sherlock, and it's viewed here in the United States on PBS. And I've been on a Sherlock and sugar binge this weekend. And, you know, the sugar part of it really is a lot like when I was drinking, because I got this instant gratification and then immediately felt lousy. And that's what, at least for me, my addictions do. But the Sherlock part of it was great. Love the show, love the casting, really great storylines. It was just such a delight to watch. Netflix takes you to season 2, episode 3. And Sherlock dies. I mean, I see him fall off a building and dies. But in the very last scene, you see him alive. So this morning I go to PBS or wherever I found a more current episode, so it's season 3, episode 1, and he faked his death. And I'm like, Not that Michael Jackson and Sherlock has anything to do with each other, but one more time the universe is presenting, well, maybe it is possible. So season 3, episode 1 tells you about the network that he had to have in place to pull this off, and the reasoning behind it, and the good that he did in the 2 years that he stayed dead to the world. And I'm thinking, I mean, is it possible? Is the universe trying to light that fire under me again? And during one of these last episodes, they even brought in that little poem, Remember the 5th of November, which ties you into V is for Vendetta, which actually happened a lot in the death hoax videos, and I started to believe again a little bit. And then at the very end of this episode, they take you through probably the new villain's home, and you pass what appears to be the mask from V, and then you pass on the table this white rabbit standing on the table, and then you get to the back of the new villain, and honest to God, I really expected it to be Michael Jackson's face on the front of it. So yeah, I know it sounds crazy, and you know, I mean, I'm just so miserable when I believe that he's dead. And it makes me so much more happy when I believe that he's alive. Too much time has passed. I know too many things that have happened, and I know logically that he must be dead. Speaking of my addictions and stupid deaths, addiction is just so crazy. This morning, I read that Philip Seymour Hoffman died, and I'm not quite sure that he died of a drug overdose, but it appears to be that might have been what killed him. And addiction and alcoholism is just something that you just never know. I mean, seriously, you just never know. I've got 23 years sober, and I have been having drinking dreams on a regular basis the past couple weeks. Philip Seymour Hoffman made a huge success for himself. He had incredible talent and was recognized and respected for that talent. When you think about how crazy addiction is, getting back to Sherlock now, Dr. Watson was like, okay, that makes sense. When he finds out he's one of the few people that wasn't in on the hoax. He said, oh, your brother knew about it. And then he finds out his parents. He says, oh, well, that makes sense. That's why your parents wasn't at the funeral. Well, we all saw Mr. and Mrs. Jackson at the Jackson Memorial, but they both claimed to not have seen his body. In Sherlock, when he's right before he's ready to jump in front of Dr. Watson, he says the words, "It's just a magic trick," which brought me back to the criminal trial of Conrad Murray. And I saw Kenny Ortega testify in court where he said that on June 24th, 2009, Michael Jackson was all excited about the magic trick that he'd be doing on June 25th, 2009. So, yeah, I know that Michael Jackson has nothing to do with the writing or the production of the TV show Sherlock. I realize that. But it's almost like the universe kind of made it alive for me again, made Michael Jackson alive for me again. So I'm just going to continue to follow my gut instinct and try to stop eating sugar because, I know that it's just such a quick and temporary feel good, and in the long run I feel worse. Gosh dang.